Hello students, from the last two lectures we are doing the resonance circuit, and in the last lecture we discussed about the Q factor, that is also known as the sharpness of a resonance curve, and we know that the current in LCR circuit is given by Im is equal to Vm under root R square plus XL minus XC omega square, where XL was equal to omega L and XC was equal to 1 upon omega C. And we varied the omega in such a way that XL is equal to XC, and that specific value of omega where XL becomes equal to XC, that condition was resonance, because the current in the circuit becomes maximum, and the condition was omega naught is equal to 1 upon under root LC. And at that time the current in the circuit is maximum, so we have written Im is equal to Im max is equal to Vm upon R, because XL and XC are cancelled. Now current flowing in the circuit is maximum. We draw the graph of omega versus Im max, or omega versus I, and we have seen that as omega increases, the current also increases, because XL was increasing and XC was decreasing, and therefore the impedance of the circuit start decreasing. So current start increasing. At a specific value this current becomes maximum, which was known as a resonant frequency or angular frequency, and beyond that if we keep on increasing, the circuit either becomes inductive or capacitive. So this was a plot of the I versus omega, which was known as a resonance curve. Now for value of omega other than omega naught, now if I suppose our omega naught we have taken as, now this is actually f naught, but we have written this as omega naught. You can convert omega naught into the f naught by 2 pi f formula. Suppose our f naught is 93.5 megahertz, and omega 1 is taken as 93.6. So omega naught plus delta omega 2 is taken as omega naught minus delta omega. That is on either side of the resonance curve. On the either side of the resonance curve. So if I take these two values on either side of the resonant angular frequency or resonant frequency, so the value written is of frequency, symbol used is omega. Suppose we take either this value on either side of omega naught, then we found that the current at omega 1 and omega 2 is same. This is the current. We assume that this current is Im max by root 2. So current in the circuit, let us take the value of Im max by root 2. So for omega 1 and omega 2, we have assumed the value to be Im max by root 2, so that we can easily understand the concept of the resonance. Now for this current we have two angular frequency, that is omega 1 and omega 2. So omega 1 is omega naught plus delta omega 2 is equal to omega naught minus delta omega. So we add these two values, so we get 2 delta omega. This is known as the bandwidth of a circuit. This value is known as a bandwidth of a circuit. Now power is directly proportional to the square of the current. So if the current at resonance is Im max, we have the maximum power dissipation or the power consumed. And at this value, if we substitute this value here, the power consumed is half. So it means the power consumption is half, means half of the energy given by the source, that is supply, to the resonant circuit is dissipated in the form of a loss. So energy given to the circuit remains constant, and if you listen or if you tune the circuit at 93.5, the maximum power is utilized or the maximum power is consumed, and on either side of the resonance resonant frequency, the half of the power is consumed and half of the power is dissipated in the form of heat. So though we can listen the song at this frequency, but you will find some disturbance in the circuit, that is either the circuit is inductive. So if I say you are on this side, then XL is greater than XC, then on this side XC is greater than XL. Now Q factor. The sharpness of the resonance curve is measured in the terms of a quantity which is called as Q factor. Q factor means the quality factor. This quality factor, we have discussed that it should be inversely proportional to the resistance. So more is the resistance, less will be the current. We want at resonance the current in the circuit to be maximum. So it should be inversely proportional to the resistance, one thing. Another thing is, if the graph is sharper, suppose I draw a sharper graph as compared to this, suppose I draw a graph like this. This is a sharp graph. Again, this value is nothing but 93.5. But now if I take Im max by root 2, suppose this is my Im max, then Im max by root 2 will be here. So you see this width, that is the bandwidth. This is a bandwidth. This bandwidth is very small as compared to this. So Q factor is inversely proportional to the bandwidth. So we have written the inversely proportional to the bandwidth of the circuit. And more is the resonance or more is the resonant frequency, then the quality factor is more. It means if we take some another station, this is 93.5, if I take a station 95.5 megahertz, so the frequency of this is more, so the quality factor of this station is more as compared to the 93.5. So we have directly written the formula that Q is equal to omega naught by 2 omega 2 delta omega. Now we will proceed further, where we will try to find out the formula for a Q factor in the terms of the component R, L and C. So now we have only a mathematical calculation left to determine the value of the Q factor. So we need this values Im max. So we write here Im max is equal to Vm upon R. We take this as equation number 1, and the Q factor is written as omega naught upon 2 delta omega. Let us name this as equation number 2. Now suppose we take a value other than omega. Suppose we take a value other than omega. So for value omega 1, we have written that omega 1 is nothing but omega naught plus delta omega, and omega 2 is omega naught minus delta omega, and we have a bandwidth 2 delta omega, that is the summation of these two. Now for value omega 1, Im can be written as Vm upon under root R square plus omega 1L minus 1 upon omega 1C whole square. Now this will not be cancelled. At resonance, that is omega naught, XL is equal to XC. Suppose we are tuning our circuit to 93.6, then the current flowing in the circuit is this much. So this is our say equation number 3. Now the value of Im max was Vm by R. Now this is the value when you are at a resonance, but at omega 1 or omega 2, Im max, the value was Im max by root 2. So at omega 1 or omega 2, the value of current is Im max by root 2. So we have substituted this value omega 1 here. It means the current flowing in the circuit is Im max divided by root 2, that is equal to Vm upon under root R square plus omega 1 L minus 1 upon omega 1 C square. So this is, here the Im is written as Im max by root 2 because at omega 1 because at omega 1 or omega 2, the current was assumed to be Im max by root 2. Now, what is Im max? That is Vm by R. So, substitute equation number 1. Then we have Vm divided by root 2R is equal to Vm under root R square plus omega 1L minus 1 upon omega 1 C. So Vm is cancelled. We do a cross multiplication. So root 2 times R is equal to under root R square plus omega 1L minus 1 upon omega 1 C whole square. Now in order to find out, what we are trying to find out is the formula for a Q factor in the terms of the value of the component, that is in the terms of R, L and C. And we know that delta omega, that is nothing but omega 1 minus omega naught. Now squaring both the side, we get 2R square is equal to R square plus omega 1 L minus 1 upon omega 1 C whole square. And therefore, we have R square, that is equal to omega 1 L minus 1 upon omega 1 C whole square. Now we take a root, or we'll remove this square sign. So taking the root on both sides, our R comes out to be omega 1 L minus 1 upon omega 1 C. This is the value of R. Now what is omega 1? We know now omega 1 is equal to omega naught plus delta omega. Therefore, R is equal to omega naught plus delta omega L minus 1 upon omega naught plus delta omega into C. So we substitute the value of omega 1. Now, because we have this different term, here we have L and here we have term C. So either the entire equation should be converted into L or C. Now what is the relation which connect L and C? So at resonance, we know omega naught is equal to 1 upon under root LC. Omega naught is equal to 1 upon under root LC. So this can be written as omega naught square is equal to 1 upon LC. Now I can substitute this value, that is 1 by C is equal to omega naught square L. So this can be written as omega naught square L is equal to 1 by C. Therefore, R is equal to, at the same time, we take this omega naught common, so it becomes omega naught is equal to 1 plus delta omega upon omega naught L minus, again I take omega naught common from this side, so omega naught 1 plus delta omega upon omega naught, and in the place of 1 upon C, I write omega naught square L. So we have eliminated C with the help of this resonant angular frequency. So therefore, R is equal to, now this omega is cancelled with this omega. So we have omega naught L on both the side common. So omega naught L. Now 1 plus delta omega upon omega naught minus, we take this omega naught L is common. Now we take or write this term as 1 plus delta omega naught raised to minus 1. So this is the situation now. This is simple mathematical calculation. Therefore, R is equal to omega naught L 1 plus delta omega upon omega naught. This can be written as 1 minus delta omega upon omega naught. Now what we did here is we applied the binomial theorem and neglected the high power terms. So 1 plus x raised to n is equal to 1 plus nx upon 1 factorial. That is a binomial theorem where we have neglected the other term. The other term is n minus 1 x square by 2 factorial plus n minus 1 n minus 2 x cube by 3 factorial. But we have to remember this much only, because in physics generally we neglect the higher power terms. Now here n is equal to minus 1. N is equal to minus 1. And in the place of x, you have delta omega upon omega naught. So our answer is 1 plus nx. So 1, our n is negative. So minus 1 delta omega upon omega naught. So here we apply the binomial theorem. So applying binomial theorem and neglecting higher power terms, neglecting higher power terms. So we neglected the higher power terms also. Now therefore R is equal to omega naught L. If we open this bracket, it becomes twice delta omega upon omega naught. 1 is cancelled. So we get this R is equal to omega naught L 2 delta omega upon omega naught, and therefore R is equal to omega naught is cancelled. So we get R is equal to twice delta omega into L. Say this is equation number 4. Now we need a formula for the quality factor in the terms of just two components, that is R and L. Here you are getting the answer in the terms of R and L because we eliminated C at this point. You may also eliminate L at this point, where you can write L is equal to 1 upon omega naught square C. So either we eliminate L or C. Here we have eliminated C. Now we know that quality factor is omega naught upon twice delta omega. So twice delta omega is nothing but R upon L. So from equation, or you can say substitute that 2 delta omega is equal to R upon L in equation number 2. So Q factor is equal to omega naught, 2 delta omega can be written as, so substituting Q is equal to Q naught 2 delta omega, that is R by L. So this is the quality factor. Now we know that we know the value of omega naught, that is the resonant angular frequency. We know the value of L, which is fixed, and we know the value of R. So clearly you see that Q is inversely proportional to the resistance and Q is directly proportional to omega naught as well, L also. So variable, generally we keep C to be variable in the twinning circuit, so that it was explained earlier also. So when you are doing, or if you are twinning the circuit, you are actually varying the value of the C. The value of C is varied in such a way that the frequency or the angular frequency of that circuit is equal to the frequency of the signal available in the space or a atmosphere or in the surrounding and when these both are twinned together, or when the frequency of the circuit matches with the frequency of the signal available in the surrounding or the broadcasting center station, then you are able to receive the signal. And here the antenna of the circuit or the radio or a TV act as a source of receiving the signal. So this is one formula of Q factor is omega naught by 2 delta omega. Now we got another formula. Q is equal to omega naught L by C. So let us name this equation as equation number 5. Now suppose I want this equation in the terms of C. So clearly L can be written as 1 upon omega naught or you can say omega naught L. Now omega naught L can be written as 1 upon omega naught C, and therefore Q can be also written as 1 upon omega naught CR. So depending upon the situation, we can use the formula for Q factor. So we have 3 formula for a Q factor. You should remember this, note that Q factor depends on all three components, that is L, R and C, where the C is generally kept as a variable and L and R is fixed. If the resonance curve is sharper, we can say that the Q factor of the circuit is very large. So now this is all about an important application of an AC circuit, that is an LCR circuit, which is used for the twinning of a circuit. So we wind up this topic of Q factor. You have to remember, sharper is the resonance curve, more is the Q factor, less is the resistance, more is the Q factor, L is more, Q factor is again more, resonant angular frequency is more, Q factor is more. So this is how the sharpness of LCR circuit is determined. Now let us see topic 7.7, the power in AC circuit, and we have a new quantity that is called as power factor. Now for this year, this portion is been eliminated from the exam from our board exam. Still, it is a simple topic, how the power is dissipated in the circuit. We already know that if a circuit contains only resistor, power was equal to, the average power was equal to I square R. The power dissipated in purely inductive or capacitive circuit was 0. And for LCR, now we take a general formula for LCR series circuit. IM is equal, we write all the formula. V is equal to Vm sine omega t, then I was equal to Im sine of omega t plus phi, where we assume that the current is leading, and tan phi was equal to Xc minus XL upon R, where phi was a phase difference between the current and the voltage. So we take a general formula for the series as LCR circuit, and we have drawn the formula. This was the impedance curve, where this was Z, this is your R, and this was Xc minus XL, and we have taken this angle as phi. So tan phi was equal to opposite upon adjacent. This was our impedance triangle. Now average power that was a small v is equal, small p is equal to small v into small I. Both are time dependent. So this can be written as Vm sine of omega t, Im sine of omega t plus phi. Again we have a simple mathematical calculation. So Vm Im sine of omega t sine of omega t plus phi. That is the average power dissipate. We will find out the average. Sorry, this is the instantaneous power. This is the instantaneous power. That is a time dependent function. We will find out the average. Now sine A sine B can be written as half cos of A minus B minus cos of A plus B. The mathematical students know this formula. So therefore P is equal to Vm Im. We have this half. Then cos A minus B. Here A is omega t and B is omega t plus phi. So we do the subtraction. So omega t minus phi, that is cos of minus phi. Then minus sign. Then we do the addition, that is cos of 2 omega t plus phi. Now cos of minus phi. Cos is a positive function, so this minus is gone. The mathematical students know this. So it can be written as cos of phi minus cos of 2 omega t plus phi. So this is the instantaneous power in LCR series circuit. Now here one term is time dependent and the other term is the time independent. We have to find out the average power. Now average power, that is symbol we use this. Now these are the constant terms. So it becomes Vm Im divided by 2 cos of phi. Again it is time independent. So we have to take a average of cos for for one complete cycle, and we know the average of cos and cosine, average of cosine and sine for one complete cycle is 0. That you can test by doing the integration 1 by t cos of 2 omega t plus phi d phi or d theta. So you can find out this integration and you will see the average will come out to be 0. So here we directly write that this average comes out to be 0. So average power, then now use the symbol capital P, it becomes Vm Im by 2 cos of phi. So here we have a new term, that is cos phi. This is called as the power factor of AC circuit. So any circuit power factor, for any AC circuit we have cos phi. Now from impedance triangle we can easily find out the value of cos phi. So here cos phi is equal to, that is adjacent upon hypotenuse, that is the impedance. So impedance we know it is under root r square plus xc minus xl whole square. So cos phi formula becomes r upon z, which is called as the power factor of a AC circuit. So this is the general formula. Now let us see whether the formula we derived for AC circuit containing resistors, inductor, capacitor holds good by this formula. This is called as a general formula. Here this formula can also be written as P is equal to I square R cos of phi. So we know that this I is equal to IRMS. So you can convert this formula in the form of RMS. You take this root 2 by this, that is I can write this formula as P is equal to capital V, that is actually RMS. So capital V was equal to Vm by root 2, capital I was equal to Im by root 2, that is IRMS value. So P is equal to VI cos of phi. Now using the Ohm's law, I can also write P is equal to I square R cos of phi. So these are the general formula for AC circuit, and we have taken the reference as the LCR circuit. So power dissipated can be written in the form of VI cos phi, and now V can be written as Ohm's law. So for LCR circuit, V is equal to I into total impedance Z. So it becomes I square Z cos phi, not I square R, I square Z, because for LCR the total resistance is denoted by Z. So these are the other form. Now let us see, take this as a reference equation. So case 1, AC circuit containing R only. So if we have a R, we know the phase difference. This is the phase difference. So for AC circuit containing R, phi was equal to 0. That is current and this was in the same phase, and therefore cos of phi power factor is equal to 1, and therefore P is equal to, I can write P as Im Vm by 2, or I can write this as I square Z. Z means impedance, that is I square R. So what we derived here, so power factor is this. For L only, so if circuit contain only inductor, we know the phase difference was pi by 2. So power factor is 0. So power comes out to be 0. Similarly, for C only, again same, phi was equal to pi by 2 cos of phi, that is power factor is equal to 0 and power is equal to 0. Now we comes to a resonant circuit, which is important. So for resonant circuit, what happened at a resonant circuit? So XL is equal to XC. XL was equal to XC. So in that case, we have only R. We have only R because XL was equal to XC. So Z becomes equal to R. So cos phi is equal to R upon R. That is 1. So for resonant circuit also, phi is equal to 0, or you can say the power factor is 1. How we get this power factor to be 1? So we take this general formula. What is cos phi? Now let us see cos phi. Cos phi is equal to R upon Z. Now at resonance, XL is equal to XC. Therefore, Z is equal to R only. Therefore, cos phi comes out to be 1. So power factor at resonant circuit is 1. Phi is 0. Again, I get power equal to I square R, or Vm Im by root 2, or simply I can say I can get Vi. So the maximum power is dissipated across R. So in a resonant circuit, the power is dissipated across R. So this is all about we have for a AC circuit, the derivations of the power. Have a nice day.